Welcome back, everyone, to the High Tempo Sports Podcast, episode 65 this week. How you doing today, Easton?
Good. It's a beautiful day. You want to talk about our new stuff that we got going on?
Yeah, we got a couple new things here in the setup. We're starting to progress as our setup gets better. Got a new poster behind us. Kind of matches the theme of our other poster. So shout out to my mom for getting that for Christmas. And she got me and Easton some high tempo custom mugs. So
Shout out Miss Sando.
yeah, because they're pretty awesome.
They're awesome. And there's a new LeBron.
Oh yeah, we got a new LeBron thing over there too. So
Yeah, I don't think you can read it from there. It says nothing is given, everything is earned. Classic LeBron t-shirt quote.
yep, classic. So yeah, it's a Wednesday today. Today is a huge episode. I'm so excited for today's episode, as it is going into the last week of the NFL regular season. We are doing our final power ranking of the year. I think this is the 4.0. I think it's the fourth one we've done. And we're going to take a look at all the different scenarios that can get teams in the playoffs, because the AFC right now is there's 5 teams that are battling for a playoff spot.
And I think all of them are deserving of a playoff spot.
Yeah, they're all good. They're all 10-5. And a 9-7 team is about to make the playoffs, and it could be an 11-5 team. Like all 5 of those teams could win, and one of them still doesn't get in.
One of them just misses.
And a 9-7 team's about to get in the NFC. So
Just crazy.
yeah, it's a weird one. So let's start off with the news. First thing on the news is kind of a really surprising one. Second-year quarterback Dwayne Haskins gets cut by the Washington football team. Just what were your initial thoughts on this?
I was surprised just because Alex Smith is right now injured. Like not gonna. He might play this week.
He
might
probably
not play.
will.
I would assume he'd play because it's just. I don't even know, what was it, a right knee sprain
It was
or something?
yeah, it was something with the knee.
It's his It's his other leg that he didn't injure the first time. But still, I mean, you're going to release your backup quarterback, but I mean, Dwayne Haskins hasn't been good in the league at all. He's been awful.
Yeah.
What were your initial thoughts?
Well, I was just shocked because, one, he was a first-round pick, and he's only in his second season, so usually you give at least 3 years. 2, this is like in the middle of the, or not the middle of the year, the end of the year, like a team that is, it's not like this team is just a horrible team. Their season's over.
They're trying to make
like
playoffs.
They are in the playoffs right now, technically. They are going to win their division. All they have to do is win. And it's just super weird to me that they cut him, because that's just something you usually don't see. But there's been a lot of stuff going on with Dwayne Haskins, with him not following the guidelines and everything. He went to the strip club, was spotted without a mask on in between weeks, game days, which with everything going on right now is huge against the rules. But yeah, this whole Dwayne Haskins situation, I definitely don't think he's out of the league, but it's just really not a good look for Dwayne Haskins at all, just because of how fast Washington gave up on him.
Yeah, and this reminds me a lot of, I'm not even able to think of his name, Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
Obviously different circumstances.
And even Manziel, though, like, didn't get, and the Browns just sucked, like the Washington isn't very good, but they might make the playoffs, The thing about Johnny Manziel was they just sucked, and he had a lot of, off the field issues going on as well, but
I mean, they gave him a shot at least.
Yeah,
like
and
a good shot.
Washington too. Like now they have to look for a new quarterback. Obviously, Alex Smith isn't their quarterback of the future.
Yeah.
He might be next year, but he's old. He's not a very young quarterback. So now they have to go look for a quarterback in a draft this year. But we really don't know where all the quarterbacks are going to go. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Washington and what happens with Haskins.
Absolutely. Well, Washington's not going to get a good enough draft pick to get somebody high.
Yeah, but
up there.
at the same time, there isn't a huge amount of teams that need quarterbacks, but there is teams that have older quarterbacks that might decide this is the year to move on from their older quarterback.
The Colts.
The Colts or in the Steelers and even the Atlanta Falcons, with Matt Ryan's he's still good, but
and Jacksonville and the Jets are definitely taking Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, probably. The Jets, I don't really know. Because Sam Darnold isn't that bad.
No, he isn't, but
and I hate that you can't just put all the blame and give up on Darnold. Like,
no, you can't, but you also have Trevor Lawrence sitting there, or Justin Fields.
Well, they're not going to get Trevor Lawrence.
Yes, Justin Fields, which would be
Justin Fields, I don't know.
Of course,
he hasn't been super crazy this year. I mean, I know this year's a weird year, but I don't know. I don't think he's been number 2 pick type of guy.
No,
I guess.
yeah, I guess.
But let's move on in the news. Next, speaking of college football, Devontae Smith was named AP Player of the Year. Most guys who win this award go on to win the Heisman. So, and he also was the first wide receiver to ever win this award, which is pretty crazy.
The award's only been in only since 2000. Since the award? I thought it was when you told me that, I thought it was like an old award.
No, this is a newer award. Yeah,
but it's still insane. Devontae Smith, in my eyes, is the Heisman, so I think he's definitely deserving of this award. I think from what I've gathered from our conversations, it sounds like you're leaning towards Mac Jones winning the Heisman.
I mean, I don't know, because like I think it'd be awesome to see Devontae Smith win it. Like I think that would be super cool. But I just don't see how you can give it to him when his quarterback had an exceptional year as well. You know, I don't know.
And I see where you're coming from, but I just think Devontae.
It would be
Smith
sweet if he
special.
won. Like if he won, that would be awesome though. I just don't really think it's gonna happen. Next, speaking of more college football, the best quarterback, a guy who should have won the Heisman this year, Rocky Lombardi, has decided to transfer from Michigan State. He's transferring to Northern Illinois to go play in the MAC next year. So good luck to Rocky as State decides to move on.
Shout out the best name in all of Big Ten
best
football.
name, and yeah, I agree.
Rocky is
Big Ten football, but Big Ten basketball best name is easily Boo Booey, that dude from Northwestern.
Yeah.
Some more going on to some NFL news. Jared Goff is going to be out for the Rams this week as they are playing in a must-win game this week without their starting quarterback
And Cooper Kupp.
and Cooper Kupp. I mean, not a good look for the Rams, but Jared Goff has also been really bad in the past couple weeks.
Really
so
bad.
Maybe it's maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
He's bad.
More guys sitting on Big Ben and Patrick Mahomes and Dalvin Cook all to sit this upcoming Sunday. Dalvin Cook is not for a playoff rest issue. His father actually passed away, and he is going back to his hometown of Miami to be with his family, obviously. So, and the Vikings have been eliminated from playoff contention. So,
Thoughts and prayers out to his family.
yeah, of course.
Really hope he gets through that.
And then some NBA news. Ja Morant had a very scary-looking fall in their game against Brooklyn, right? Wasn't it against? I think it was. Yeah, I think it was against Brooklyn.
Yeah, it was Brooklyn.
Landed on. Yeah, it was on Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot. Yeah, he landed on his foot, and Ja Morant clearly had an ankle injury on the play. Hopped off the court, had to get taken out on a wheelchair. Looked really bad. I thought he was going to be out for a couple months, maybe the whole year. But he's only going to be out for 3 to 5 weeks. That's what the initial diagnosis is.
Yep.
I think that's the word I'm thinking of.
Just a level 1 ankle sprain.
Yeah,
not
so
anything awful.
That's really good news for a budding star in this league.
I wouldn't care if they make it 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, especially just to make sure he's healthy. Yeah. Karl Anthony Towns, another guy who recently got hurt. It was he dislocated his left wrist. He will be out for 1 to 2 weeks. Hopefully he'll be back soon because he's on my fantasy team. So, are we ready to get into some NFL talk? I don't know where we should.
Is all. I think this episode is very
there's
little.
There's
NBA
a couple
talk.
basketball and college or NBA and college basketball at the end, but where should we start? Should we start with picks or the playoff scenario?
Start with playoffs.
Okay. So, I guess we should do a Week 16 review first about all the games. Yeah, that's where we should start.
Yep.
So, Week 16 review. We talked about Alvin Kamara, right? Because we did that on Sunday, how he had that crazy game. Yeah, so all the Sunday games, what we got to talk about. First things first, the Pittsburgh Steelers end their losing streak against the Indianapolis Colts. They played really well, had a late touchdown drive in the fourth quarter to win that game. So I got that right over Easton.
Yeah, and this week, we already know the results because there was only 2 games difference.
Yeah.
And we know the important game. But I was upset watching this game, watching Indy blow it. It's tough to watch when you have them picked.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And then another thing happened. Actually, let me just say a question. Are the New York Jets secretly the best team in the NFL?
No.
Have they just been hiding it all year?
Hiding all year.
They've now beaten 2 playoff teams, 2 playoff caliber teams in the last 2 weeks as they beat the Cleveland Browns on Sunday. I mean, if they were to go out and beat a team like the Houston Texans or the Bengals, a team that's not good,
understandable.
It's just like whatever. But how can these teams lose to the Jets that haven't won all year?
I don't get, because at one point the Jets were the worst team in football history.
Ever, yeah.
Like 10 weeks in, they were the worst team ever.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. Is Adam Gase secretly the best coach? No, I'm just kidding. He definitely still needs to get fired. But maybe I kind of have like a small theory of why the Jets won. And it's just because maybe they didn't want to take Trevor Lawrence. And because they want to commit to Sam Darnold, they didn't want to take somebody that's not Trevor Lawrence at pick
and then
one.
look like an idiot.
And then they might not pick. I mean, but if they take Justin Fields at 2, then my theory's obviously not true. But
your theory would just be wrong.
Yeah. But I don't know. The Jets, they've won 2 straight now. Really weird. I now can no longer pick the Browns this week. So, yeah.
Oh, you can't pick the Browns this week.
No. Imagine if the Browns played the Rams. What would I do? Because I can't pick.
Just
it goes against my rules.
You would explode.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just combust. Spontaneously combust.
And then, yeah, the big game pretty much was the Green Bay-Tennessee game. This was our tiebreaker for the week because we had all the same picks except for the last 2 games because, the end of the year, we want to have a little more safer picks. But,
especially when it's
Green Bay
close.
won this game, and it wasn't even close. They killed the Titans.
It was a bad look for the Titans.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers has pretty much solidified himself as the MVP of the league. I would say so, especially with Patrick Mahomes not playing this upcoming week. So, as much as I don't like Aaron Rodgers, shout out to Aaron Rodgers for winning MVP at, his older age and still dominating the league.
The most elite vet quarterback in the NFL.
You always say that over Tom Brady?
Oh, I mean, he just had an MVP
No, I agree.
season.
I agree, but you're a huge Tom Brady fan.
Tom Brady didn't have an MVP season.
No, I agree.
can't
I just
disagree with
figured
that.
you would say
No.
something like Tom Brady's better.
No, I can't disagree with an MVP season.
Yeah. And then a couple other important games. The Washington football team lost to the Carolina Panthers, making their playoff situation a lot more interesting. And adding to that, the Dallas Cowboys won a second week in a row, beating the Philadelphia Eagles. So now they have the same record as Washington.
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about the playoff race. Is that what we should do next?
Yeah, you got all the scenarios written down.
Yeah, and then I have the standings, the current standings as well. So in the AFC right now, this is pretty wild in the AFC. Kansas City is the one. They have clinched home field advantage. They have clinched the 1 seed first round bye. So they can, that's why as Mahomes sitting, they don't need to worry about this game this week. 2 seed is the Buffalo Bills. 3 seed is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And those 3 teams are the only 3 teams in the AFC that have clinched playoff berths, which is pretty nuts. The only way that the Buffalo and Pittsburgh can be switched is with a Pittsburgh win and a Buffalo loss. So right now, the 4 seed is going to be the winner of the AFC South. Right now, it is the Tennessee Titans. And then the 3 wild card teams are the Miami Dolphins, Baltimore Ravens, and Cleveland Browns, with the Indianapolis Colts in the spot that's left out right now, which is really weird that Indianapolis is out.
Somehow the Colts have fallen.
Same with the Browns. The Browns were a team that I thought was just for sure a playoff lock by this point, and they're just not anymore, especially after their game against the Jets.
Well, I think that's why we saw them as a playoff lock, because they play Pittsburgh this week. So, but if they beat the Jets, they are a playoff lock, correct?
Oh yeah, they would be clinched.
So that's why we assumed they were a playoff lock.
So for Tennessee and Indianapolis, it's or for Tennessee at least, because the 4 seed is going to be Tennessee or Indianapolis because it's the winner of the AFC South. So the Tennessee, to get in to win the division, they either need to win or a Colts loss to get that 4 seed. Let's say that the Colts win and they lose, they can still get in with just a Miami or Baltimore loss.
That's
so
insane.
Tennessee is probably going to get in.
Yeah, probably.
They are probably going to get in.
They're probably going to beat Houston, just straight up.
Yeah, but if all goes wrong, they can still hope for another
somehow.
loss. For Miami to get in, they either need to win, so just get the win, or they play Buffalo, by the way. They need a loss from either Baltimore, Cleveland, or Indianapolis.
Just one of them.
Yes. So once again, they are another team that looks like they will probably get in.
Yep.
Baltimore is probably the most solidified team, I would say, to get in. They either need to win, and they are playing the Cincinnati Bengals, or they need a Cleveland or Indianapolis loss.
Which is pretty realistic.
Yeah, because they don't own the tiebreaker over Miami, so they can't get in with a Miami loss. But Cleveland, they also have another pretty easy way to get in. They either need to win or have an Indianapolis loss.
But Indy plays Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And Cleveland might lose to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Cleveland plays Pittsburgh. Yeah, but
Big Ben is
those
sitting.
4 teams I just named, Tennessee, Miami, Baltimore, and Cleveland, all they got to do is win to get in.
Mm-hmm.
They control their fate. Indianapolis, on the other hand, does not control their fate. So this is really weird. So they need to get a win and have a loss from one of Tennessee, Miami, Baltimore, or Cleveland.
As long as one of those teams
One
loses,
of those teams has
win.
to lose and they win, which they are playing Jacksonville, so they will most likely win. They need one of those 4 teams to lose, which is highly possible. You know?
Yeah, very
With
realistic.
Miami playing Buffalo and Cleveland playing Pittsburgh,
They could lose.
we'll see. So I just want to ask real quick, who do you think is going to be the team that is left out?
I do think hoping for a loss puts you in a bad spot. Indianapolis Colts are the only ones who don't control their fate. They will probably win their football game.
Mm-hmm.
But with every other team here controlling their fate, I just see them pushing just as hard. So I see a lot of these teams getting wins. I see every team here getting a win this week.
I think that the Colts will get in. I think the team that will not get in is the Cleveland Browns.
You think?
And that's kind of a foreshadow to my picks, I guess. But I can't pick Cleveland anyways, so you probably would already assume that. But yeah, I think that because Cleveland can still get, even if they lose, if Indianapolis loses, Cleveland gets in. But like Easton said, Indianapolis has a pretty easy game against the Jacksonville Jaguars this week. I think that Indianapolis gets in, and I think it's just bound for Cleveland to miss it. You know, had such a good year.
How perfect.
Most wins in a long time, you know, and all of a sudden they lose to the Jets, and then they don't make the playoffs.
Oh, could you
How
imagine?
Cleveland Brown is that?
That's so Cleveland. Like, that is literally...
That's like something that would happen to the Lions,
That
too.
could be thrown into Believeland. 30 for 30. Did you see that one?
Mm-hmm.
That could be thrown in there, and it wouldn't look weird. It would be like, oh, yeah, that's Cleveland.
So, yeah, that's the AFC playoff race. It's pretty crazy, that playoff race going on right now, so I can't wait to watch the games this week. The NFC is much more simple than this. Right now, Green Bay is the 1 seed, and actually, I do think that they have this locked up because New Orleans is the 2, and Green Bay they're 12-3, and New Orleans is 11-4. Green Bay beat New Orleans this year, if I'm not mistaken, correct? I think that they beat New Orleans on Sunday Night Football. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Unless New Orleans beat them. No, I'm pretty sure Green Bay beat them.
Yeah, I think GB beat them.
They might not have it
Who are
clinched, I don't
Green
know.
Bay's 3 losses?
I don't know. I can't just think of that
Tampa.
off the top of my head. Tampa, didn't they lose to the Bears? No, they beat. They lost to Minnesota. They lost to Minnesota once.
and Tampa.
Who's the other one?
Buffalo?
No, I don't think they
I don't
played
think they
Buffalo.
played Buffalo.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Maybe
it doesn't. It
Carolina.
doesn't really.
It might
matter.
be Carolina.
It might be. I don't know. But yeah, Green Bay is the 1 seed right now. New Orleans is the 2. Seattle is the 3, and then skipping to the wild card, Tampa Bay is the 5. Those are the 4 teams that have clinched playoff berth in the NFC. The 4 seed right now, leader of the NFC East, is the Washington football team at a record of 6-9. Yes, that has them winning their division.
That's embarrassing.
Oh yeah, it's super embarrassing.
I'm so glad.
So yeah, Washington's in right now, and then the 3 wildcard teams, like I said, number 5 is Tampa Bay, number 6 right now is the LA Rams, and number 7 is the Chicago Bears, with Arizona right out in the hunt right now, and then technically Dallas and the New York Giants still can get in, and they still might. So let's go over all the playoff scenarios in the NFC. So for Washington to get in, they have to win.
Just a win.
And that's the thing. If they lose, they're out. They're out.
Yep.
Because the winner of Dallas and New York, Dallas and the Giants play against each other this week. So for either of those teams to get in, they need a win and a Washington loss. So even if let's say Dallas wins
with Washington winning.
Yeah, with Washington wins, it doesn't matter. So all Washington has to do is win. They play against the
Eagles.
Philadelphia Eagles this week. And like I said, Dallas and New York plays head-to-head, which makes it a lot more easy to figure out how they get in. For Arizona to get in, all they have to do is win. If they lose, they're out because they play the LA Rams. For Chicago to win, or for Chicago to get in, they need to win. That's all they have to do because, once again, the Rams and Cardinals are playing against each other. For the Rams to get in, they do have a little more leeway. They either need a win, or even if they lose, if Chicago loses, they get in. So right now it's looking
That's
like
big time.
the Rams probably will get in.
Yep.
Because
I think
Chicago's playing the Green Bay Packers this week. So it would have to take a Chicago, upset over the Packers and them to lose to not get in. So it's going to make it tough. But we'll find out. Arizona right now is kind of, they just slid for the last couple weeks, losing to San Francisco last week. Chicago Bears have won a couple straight after sliding for a long time. Who do
I
you
mean,
think? What were you gonna say?
At one point, we had the Cardinals in our top 10 football teams this year, right?
Oh yeah, that game after they played the Bills, they were like number 6 after the Hail Mary from Kyler Murray to D Hop. I mean, they just started doing horribly, and like it was the week when we said we need the Cardinals or Seahawks. Yes. It was that Thursday night game. We said the loser of this game needs to start losing out. And for the Lions to get in. And that's exactly what happened, but it didn't matter because the Lions just suck. That's pretty funny. But
so who are my 4 options of who can miss the playoffs? Well, don't include the Giants and Dallas.
And what do you want me to include Washington too?
Don't include those 4.
Okay, so just
I'm saying who gets left out.
So yeah, with the wild card. You have the Rams, the Bears, and the Cardinals. One of those teams does not get in. One of those 3 does not get in.
Oh, it's got to be the Bears.
Yeah, if the Bears lose, they're out. The Bears. But the thing is, if the Bears win, they're in.
Yeah.
All they got to do is win.
But I don't see the Bears beating Green Bay.
Yeah.
I really don't.
It's pretty simple for all these teams. They just got to win. The Rams have a little extra leeway, but all of 3 of these teams control their own fate. And they don't need any extra stuff to happen because of the Rams-Cardinals head-to-head matchup. Yep. So
I think the Bears will lose. So Bears are missing it. What do you think?
Yeah, I say the Bears are gonna miss the playoffs as well. But it would be kind of, honestly, like, I don't even like the Bears. I would be okay with it. It would be kind of cool just because how bad they did. No, it'd be pretty funny if they missed, actually. I don't like the Bears. So, are we ready to do our weekly picks this week?
Yeah.
Or at least before. Let me explain something before. Last week, our tiebreaker game, like I said, was between the Titans and Packers. I picked the Titans because I despise the Packers. He picked the Packers, and they won. So, yes, the series is tied 8-8. I was up 8-4 in picks, and I have blown 4 straight weeks.
This is probably the perfect situation.
Not planned. I know it probably looks like it was planned. It wasn't. Trust me. I would love to beat Easton.
You think we're?
I'd love to beat him 11-4 in picks, but it's just not how it's gonna end.
We're not that elite. We would have to know the games ahead of time to intentionally lose. It would be hard to intentionally lose unless we're picking Jacksonville every week.
Yeah.
This is not staged.
And I picked a couple upsets, but I did that every single week, even when I was winning. Just this is I always pick upsets.
Craziest first year of picks we could.
Oh yeah, I mean this is just perfect. It's ending so perfectly, and I love it because Easton's getting all this momentum, hyping it up, coming to tie it up, and then I'm still just gonna beat him this week.
This will be a great ending.
Comes down to this week, who wins the picks? Are we gonna have a punishment for the loser?
I think we can't establish that now. We should establish that at the start.
Yeah, but now we could do it now. we could still do it now. What should the punishment be? You have to wear something funny in our next podcast, or
dress funny or something. What do you have to wear?
Dress funny.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. There will be a punishment.
We'll figure something out off camera. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll just see it next Wednesday in our next episode.
You'll see Sandal wearing something or doing whatever.
So, are you ready to dive into the picks for this week?
I'm so excited.
Let's do it.
This is huge.
Weekly picks, it's the weekly picks. It's the high tempo weekly NFL picks.
So sad. It's going to be our last time you pressing that button for a while.
For a long time.
I mean, actually, we'll do never mind. We're going to do our weekly picks for the playoffs.
Oh yeah, duh.
So I mean,
won't be a winner.
Yeah, there's not gonna be a You get what we're saying. Last regular season picks. It's been a fun ride doing these picks. Honestly,
it has been fun.
Because when I'm watching the games, I'm loving
thinking about my picks.
Oh come on, I need the Rams to win. That's saying that, but let's do it. Every game is on Sunday this week in the NFL. There's only one primetime game. So if we have that game different, we will have to pick a tiebreaker game. But let's do it. First game of the week. We have the 4.
No, if we have that game the same, we have to pick a tiebreaker.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. If that game's the same, we'll pick a tiebreaker.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
First game, 4-11 Atlanta Falcons at the 10-5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Go Bucks.
Go Buccaneers. I was tempting to pick Atlanta just because Tampa has...
You have been tempted to pick Atlanta every week.
Yeah, I know. Because their offense is actually good.
So good.
I'm pretty sure Matt Ryan leads the league in passing yards.
He's unbelievable.
I'm pretty sure. He's either first or second. But Tampa has already clinched playoffs, so who knows?
Who knows?
But
we probably should be doing these
pick
picks on Saturday.
Who cares? It makes it more interesting doing them now.
Yeah.
I picked Tampa. Next, we have the 6-9 Dallas Cowboys at the 5-10 New York Giants. This is a huge game. Like I said, winner of this has a chance of winning their division and making the playoffs.
Dallas will not go down without a fight. I'm going Cowboys.
I picked the Cowboys, man. I don't know.
I hate the Cowboys.
How would I ever trust the Cowboys to win me in the picks? You know, like this is, I mean, I was hoping you would pick the Giants just so I would have to rely on the Cowboys, but it's whatever. It would be such a crazy scenario if Dallas ended up winning this division after just the horrible start they had. The
horrible
Dak
season.
Prescott, Zeke Elliott, horrible year. Their defense, god awful. Their offensive line went from one of the best in the league last year to just god awful this year.
I don't understand it, but they're here and they're ready.
They're ready. I mean, they've won a couple weeks in a row. They're not going to do that all for nothing. So I picked Dallas. Next, we have the 2-13 New York Giants, hottest team in football, heading to Gillette Stadium to take on the 6-9. What did I say?
Giants.
Oh, yeah, I meant New York Jets. Take it on the 6-9 New England Patriots.
If the Patriots lose this game, Bill Belichick might as well retire. Cam Newton, retire. Actually, Cam Newton should retire anyways after his performance last week.
Last week was bad.
New England. That's who I'm going with.
I picked the New York Jets, baby.
No, you did not.
I really did. Because you want to know why I did? Because they have the second pick locked up because Cincinnati won last week, giving them 4 wins. So the Jets can win or lose. They're having the second pick, and they've beaten the Rams and the Browns. What tells me that they're not going to beat the freaking Patriots?
I guess the Patriots might as well lose, right?
You might as well lose. What's the point in winning?
No, dude.
I picked the New York Jets, and I might look like an idiot, but
you might look like a genius.
You picked the Jets to beat the Patriots the first time they played this year, right?
Did.
And now I did. So we'll see.
And it was close.
The Jets almost won.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So I picked the Jets. I know, crazy, right? Next game. 6-9 Minnesota Vikings taking on your very own 5-10 Detroit Lions.
The Lions are awful. They're so bad. I hope they lose. Go Minnesota.
Yeah, no Dalvin Cook. Doesn't matter. Madison is actually one of the better backup running backs in the league. Anyways, I'm taking Minnesota because I would sure love for Detroit to lose this one.
Me too. Next,
we have a pretty big game. The 12-3 Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the 10-5 Cleveland Browns.
Right now, I don't know why. I started rooting for the Browns. I didn't root for the Browns, but I like watching Baker Mayfield win football games. I'm going Baker Mayfield and the Browns to beat Pittsburgh this week.
Yeah, I mean, I really had no choice of who I could pick, as breaks my rules if I pick the Browns, because if you are unaware, I made a rule at the beginning of the year that if any team beats the Jets this year, I made it like 4 weeks into the year after they were.
Whoever loses to the Jets, you can't pick.
Yeah, whoever loses to the Jets, I cannot pick them. I was probably going to pick Pittsburgh either way, just because how the hell did you lose to the Jets? I can't trust you to win another game. So I'm picking the Steelers coming off of their big game last week. Next, we have the red hot 10-5 Baltimore Ravens taking on another team that's won 2 straight, the 4-10-1 Cincinnati Bengals.
Going Baltimore here. Baltimore's got to win this game.
Yeah, going Baltimore. There's no way that they lose this one. Nope. If they do, biggest choke ever.
Ever.
Next, this is also another huge game. We have the 10-5 Miami Dolphins taking on the 12-3 Buffalo Bills.
Going with the Bills. The Bills are elite. They're an elite football team, but they don't have to win this game. So I could see Miami upset, but not that.
Yeah, the Bills have been like one of those teams that earlier in the year they were just like
inconsistent.
We didn't know how good they actually were. If they could make a deep run, we knew they were probably going to win their division. Shout out to the Dolphins though for making this division at least interesting. We kind of all thought the Bills were going to run away with it this year. But shout out to the Dolphins for doing that. And I did pick the Miami Dolphins. They need to win to get in. Buffalo, they don't have to win this game. I don't think they're going to sit anybody, but I'm going with whether it's Tua or Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think that Miami can pull it out.
I like that pick. I don't dislike that. Yeah. We got a lot of different picks here, surprisingly. Yeah.
Next, we have the 11-4 Seattle Seahawks taking on the 6-9 San Francisco 49ers.
It's in San Francisco's best interest to lose, so I'm going Seattle.
Yeah, I'm picking Seattle as well, but I mean San Francisco beat the Cardinals last week. I really wanted to pick San Francisco here, but Seattle can still fight to work to get to that number 2 seed in the NFC. So I'm taking Seattle. Next, another huge game. This probably is the biggest game. The 8-7 Arizona Cardinals taking on the 9-6 LA Rams.
You know what? I'm a big birds fan. I like birds. I like watching birds. I'm going with the Cardinals here. Kyler Murray surprisingly has a lot to prove. He's been hurt, a little banged up. That shoulder has been an issue the last couple weeks. But there was at one point this season where he was in MVP talks early in the year. But still, he's got a lot to prove. He's got to come out and win this game.
Yeah, I'm going with the Arizona Cardinals as well. Would go against my rules to pick the Rams, but I don't even want to pick the Rams, man.
I don't like the Rams.
Man, what happened to the Rams? Like, really, what happened to them? They were my NFC favorite like 5 weeks ago, and they just started playing so bad.
I have became a Los Angeles Rams not liker. I just don't like them
I
anymore.
became like a fan of them this year. I was really liking them.
I like Jalen Ramsey.
I like the Chargers a lot, though. The Chargers are one of my favorite teams,
Yeah.
but yeah, let's get on to the next game. The 1-14 Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the 10-5 Indianapolis Colts.
Colts.
Yeah, I got to go Colts. I mean, must-win game. Can't lose to the team with one win.
Nope.
Next, we have the 10-5 Tennessee Titans taking on the 4-11 Houston Texans.
Going Titans.
Titans
They
as
have
well.
to bounce back. If
Yeah.
they don't, it's just bad.
And
news.
Houston just lost to Ryan Finley and the Bengals, so we'll see. Next, we have the 7-8 Las Vegas Raiders taking on the 5-10 Denver Broncos.
This might be a slugfest of teams trying to lose, but I'm going Las Vegas.
Yeah, this is a game that really isn't that important, but it's one of the ones that make it really difficult to pick because two teams that
it doesn't matter.
they might as well lose. I did pick the Denver Broncos, however, because the Raiders have they've lost 2 straight, I'm pretty sure. They lost to the Chargers and then they lost to the Dolphins last week. They might as well keep losing. I'm going with the Broncos. Next, we have the 6-9 LA Chargers taking on the 14-1 Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm going Chiefs here.
Yeah, I picked the Chiefs too. Without Mahomes, they might lose, but I'm willing to just. I'm not gonna pick the upset, and yeah, I'm willing to take the loss on the Chiefs losing. But I did pick the Chiefs. Next, another huge game. We have the 12-3 Green Bay Packers taking on the 8-7 Chicago Bears.
I'm going the Bears here. Not the Bears. What? I'm going Packers here. I don't know why I said that. I looked at my paper and everything. I don't see the Bears making playoffs, and if we already talked about this.
Yeah, I picked Green Bay as well. They played the Bears a while ago and absolutely killed them, and it's probably going to happen again. Next, we have the 11-4 New Orleans Saints taking on the 5-10 Carolina Panthers.
New Orleans. They need a win here. Big time.
Yeah, I'm going New Orleans as well.
Let's get some momentum
Get some momentum going into the playoffs for real. And then the last game, Sunday Night Football, we have the 6-9 division-leading Washington football team taking on Jalen Hurts and the 4-10-1 Eagles.
I hate to tell you, Dallas fans, you're not making the playoffs. Washington is winning this football game.
Yeah, I'm picking Washington too. You know, you beat the Dallas beat the Eagles last week. I think Washington's better than Dallas. That adds up for a Washington win. So, what game's going to be our tiebreaker? We had to do Miami Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
Because
wait, no,
if
we both
have
picked Buffalo. Oh no, yeah, no,
I
that's
picked
perfect.
Miami. We have to make it. So can I have that pen? I'm just gonna
Star that bitch.
I'm just gonna
I didn't say that.
I'm just gonna underline it. So yeah. Because our tiebreaker usually is the primetime games, but there's only one, and we both pick the same team. So if we do tie, which it'd be kind of weird if we tie because we do have a lot of different ones this week, Miami Buffalo will be the tiebreaker.
I'm super excited for this week. Football,
Me too.
dude.
I mean, I want to win these picks so bad, and I know picking Miami is the underdog. But
I mean, do you guys realize what this is a year
check the video real
of
quick.
us just ripping on each other? Whoever wins this has like the ultimate scoreboard. Like it's just I know more football than you do. Scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm kidding. I would never do that. I don't believe that.
So, are we ready to hop into our final power rankings 4.0 edition?
This is also this is sad to do today.
I know.
Like,
I
it was
loved doing the power rankings.
This is so much
They
fun.
were so fun.
And we will do power rankings. We've discussed how we're going to do power rankings for basketball. It's going to be once a month.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do. I think we're gonna do a once a month, either once a month or one. Yeah, probably once a month. Full power rankings, and we'll probably do a one every Wednesday. We'll do a top 5 or top 10 power rankings.
Yeah,
We'll do that.
top 10.
We'll do that weekly because a full 30 is just there's so many boring teams at the bottom that don't matter. But
Yeah, like the Pistons.
like the Pistons, yeah. So are we ready to hop into the last power ranking?
Yes, 32-1.
Number 32 is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is the craziest thing ever. Ever. I never thought the Jets were going to leave that spot.
I know.
I thought I literally I could have pre-written it. And if I would have been wrong.
Yeah, I mean, we had the
Jags are
Jets.
worst team in football.
We had the Jets in that spot every time.
Every time.
Every single time.
Every single time.
This is 5.0, not 4.0. Never mind. This is the 5th one. Damn. But anyways, yeah, Jacksonville at 32. 31, New York Jets.
31 New York Jets.
Yeah. Number 30, kind of a shocker, but I have the Detroit Lions at number 30.
I've got the Bengals at number 30.
The Lions just really suck, and they have a lot of things they need to solve this offseason with, they pretty much, with their pick, I want them to take anything defensively that is not a cornerback or a secondary position, just because we took Okuda last year. But
what was the highest you had them this year? I had Lions
the
at 19
Lions,
at one point.
I mean, I'd have to look through every single week.
But could you just guess?
I probably had them at like really high teens, like you, like probably 18 or 19 was the highest I had them.
That's what I think.
Yeah, they're not good. They have a lot of issues that they need to solve.
And the Bengals are not good.
Yeah, Bengals aren't good either.
I got Lions at 29.
29, I have the Houston Texans.
Oh, okay. I mean, that crazy. There's a bottom.
These
of the
don't really
team.
matter.
The
Texans suck. They lost to Ryan Finley.
28, I got the Broncos.
28, I have the Philadelphia Eagles.
27, I have the Texans.
27, I have the Cincinnati Bengals.
And 26, I've got the Eagles.
I have the Broncos a lot higher than you. I have the Atlanta Falcons at 26.
You have the Broncos a lot higher than me?
Not a lot higher, but I mean,
higher.
you had them at 28, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Eagles at 26, Panthers at 25.
You have Atlanta that high?
I have them at 24.
Oh. I have Denver at 25. So, yeah, not much higher, but.
No. Only 3 spots.
You said Atlanta was your 24?
Yeah.
I have Carolina at 24.
Okay, so all new teams. Fresh slate.
Yep.
23, New York Giants.
23, I have the New England Patriots at 23. They really suck.
You can actually switch my 20 through 23, and I would not care.
Yeah, I probably
just
wouldn't
not
either.
interesting.
Yeah.
22, I've got Dallas Cowboys.
22, I have the Los Angeles Chargers.
21, I've got the Chargers.
21, I have the New York Giants.
Number 20, I have the Patriots.
And number 20, I have the Dallas Cowboys. So there's
those
32
4.
through 20. Top 19, these are kind of the teams that kind of start to matter. The top 15 is important, though.
Yeah, top 17, though.
We'll definitely have the same top 15. Like, not in order, just the same 15 teams.
I would think so.
For
maybe
sure.
not.
Number 19, I have the Washington football team.
I've got the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, I have the Vikings at 18.
18, I've got San Francisco.
I have the Las Vegas Raiders at 17.
Yeah, we had the same top 15.
Yeah.
17, I have Washington. 16, I've got the Raiders.
16, I have San Francisco. I had San Francisco as the top, like, bad team because I'd say
Wait, who's
top,
your 17?
Las Vegas.
Okay.
I had San Francisco above them just because I've kind of said this all year. They've been playing with the most injuries and issues this year. They're playing in a different state right now, and they're still winning games.
Their
somehow.
JV team is winning games.
and they just have so much going on, and they still have 6 wins. So that's kind of why I have them as high as I do.
This whole thing is nuts. This top 15. This was difficult.
It was difficult. I think like 15 and 14 are pretty simple, whether you have it either way. But the top 13 can 13 through like 8 can all be kind of swapped.
Oh, I agree.
Kind of.
I agree.
Maybe.
Maybe not. I couldn't bump up 13 to 8, but I could move
Yeah.
8 to 13.
Maybe. We'll see. Let's do it. Number
15, the Chi-Town Bears.
On my number 15, I have the Arizona Cardinals. I will say I have Chicago at 14.
Okay.
I mean, Chicago's simply just playing better football than Arizona right now. I mean, Arizona is just not playing very good. They're both 8 and 7, so I just took Chicago over them. I assume you have Arizona at 14.
No, I have the Rams at 14. Rams did lose to Jets 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Arizona.
But I do have Cleveland higher, who lost the Jets last week. So
really, LA Rams under the Cardinals.
I mean, the Cardinals never playing for the spot right now.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we'll see. Yeah.
I mean, the Cardinals are my 13. There's no spot in between them.
Yeah, so I have Chicago at 14, and I do have the LA Rams at 13.
Okay.
So
you have a spot in between the Rams and Cardinals.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah.
I respect that. Number 12 for me, Miami Dolphins.
That was the Miami Dolphins were
Are
the
hard
most
to place.
interesting team to put on here.
Not
and I
for me.
decided not to put them as low as I wanted to. I have the Indianapolis Colts at number 12.
Ooh, I've got the Colts quite a bit higher.
Yeah, I have the Dolphins quite a bit higher than you do as well.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. 11. They just got routed, the Titans. They just had the worst loss of their season. Awful performance.
Yeah, I got the Titans as well at number 11. I'm pretty sure I've said this every time, but I don't think I have separated the Titans and Colts all year. I'm pretty sure they have been
I think so,
next
too.
to each other the whole because they're just so similar. They really
And
are.
they're so hard to judge.
They're so hard to judge. Like I still couldn't tell you which team is better than the other one. Probably the Titans, but then they go. I don't know. I don't know. Like
Number 10, I've got the Cleveland Browns.
I also have the Cleveland Browns at number 10. Tough loss last week, but other than that, they've looked really. I don't know. They're
good.
really inconsistent though. I mean, mainly Baker Mayfield is. We'll see how they do against the Steelers this week.
Number 9 is where I have the Colts.
And number 9 is where I have the Miami Dolphins. So we had 9 and 12 swapped, and then our 10 and 11 were the same. I mean, the Dolphins have they have a really, really good defense. Fitzpatrick comes in, plays pretty good when Tua's hurt. I mean, Fitzpatrick, if I'm the Dolphins, I would start Fitzpatrick over Tua just for the playoffs. I know it's good. I don't know if Tua's hurt or whatever, but it's good for Tua to get that playoff experience, but Fitzpatrick is honestly probably just better right now.
Whether you like it or not, there are 3 playoff games this week. You've got Cleveland and Pittsburgh. That's almost, that's not really a playoff game, but it's basically a playoff game.
I'd say it is.
Arizona versus the Rams is a playoff game.
Technically, yeah.
Miami versus Buffalo is kind of a playoff game. I mean, these are big time moments for a young superstar like young budding player like Tua. I'm not going to call him a star.
Yeah, because he's just not yet, yeah. So, top 8, we're going to have the same.
Number 8. This is a team I've overranked probably all year. Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I got Tampa Bay as well at number 8. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about them.
Number 7 was the hardest team for me to place.
Me too, because the team that I have at number 7, I was going into this ranking thinking they were going to be like maybe number 5. Like I really was going to put this team a lot higher, and I couldn't. Who do you got at number 7?
I've got the Steelers.
Wow. Okay, yeah. I don't got the Steelers. I don't got them there. I was thinking about putting the Steelers.
They just
there.
They're in and they barely scraped by a win with the Colts.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. The Colts are a good team.
Yes,
if they would have scraped by a win with a team like Minnesota or just a super average team, I probably would have had them. But that's a good win against the Colts, especially with how poor that they had been playing the past couple weeks. So if they don't beat the Colts, win for me is just too good of a win to have them below a couple other teams.
See, the win wasn't, what's the word? It wasn't like enough. Like they didn't win handedly enough for me to say that was a good win.
Yeah, I know.
It was a comeback win. And they almost lost
It's against
the game.
a good team, though.
And I know it's against a good team, but they didn't win handedly.
I'll just say my number 7, I have the Baltimore Ravens. I wanted to put the Ravens higher because they have been playing really good lately, but Pittsburgh has also beaten them both times. And like I said, Pittsburgh had a really good win last week, and I'm not going to just say that put them below the Ravens because, I don't know, they're still a better team in my eyes.
My number 6 is the Ravens.
Yeah. My number 6 is the Seattle Seahawks. I haven't really gotten a chance to watch the Seahawks the past couple weeks, honestly.
No, I haven't either.
But, yeah, they've had a couple good wins lately. They beat the Rams last week, so I got them at number 6.
My number 5 is Seattle.
And my number 5 is Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Like it's not crazy that you have them at 7. I just didn't. I was really thinking about putting them at 7, but it just wasn't. It just been too much for me to put them below Seattle and Ravens.
My number 4, New Orleans Saints.
My number 4 is the New Orleans Saints as well. They had a huge, just dominant win against the Vikings last week, and I could see this team making it to the Super Bowl like I predicted. Hopefully. Hopefully.
Number 3, Buffalo Bills.
I got the Buffalo Bills at number 3 as well. They've been red hot, and we're probably going to have the same.
Josh Allen is the second best gunslinger in the NFL.
What is your definition of gunslinger?
A guy who plays like Patrick Mahomes.
Sure.
Patrick Mahomes is the best gunslinger in the NFL. Number 2 is the Packers. Number 1 is the Chiefs.
Yep, I got the same. 2 is Packers. 1 is the Chiefs. The Chiefs have been so dominant, especially ever since they lost that one game to the Raiders. They really stepped up their inconsistency talks and everything. So shout out to the Chiefs for being the number 1 team at the end of our power ranking year.
And I mean, they weren't my number 1 team for only 2 power rankings.
Yeah, I mean,
Yours was like 3.
wait, what did you say?
They were my number 1 team except for 2 power rankings. Except for 3 and 4.
I think I had them as the 1 last time though.
Oh, then I did too.
Yeah, I for sure did because that was when Pittsburgh started to lose.
Yep.
I had them as Pittsburgh was number 3.
Yeah, so I only had one.
I only had one. I'm pretty sure too.
1 power rankings were Kansas City. No, because we got in a huge argument one episode.
Yeah, because we did. Number 3.0 was the Steelers were 9-0. Kansas City was 8-1. You probably had Pittsburgh as number 1 then. Let's see the one before that. It'd be nice if I could just find them all right here. Yeah, here's 2.0. 2.0, I had the Steelers as number 1 as well. That was when they were the only undefeated team still. So, yeah, I had them for 2 weeks. You probably had a difference.
Yeah, you argued with me.
Yeah, because you had Pittsburgh at, like, number 5 or something. You didn't even have them, like, near the top at all.
But now look where they are.
Okay, but that was at that time, though. It's a little different.
Now look where we are.
So, let's talk about some hoops. Michigan State, man, they got killed by Minnesota the other night, lost by 25 points. They've now lost 3 straight in the Big Ten. Guess where they are ranked at in the Big Ten right now?
Bottom.
Dead last.
Yeah,
Number 14 in the Big Ten. Your top 5 in the Big Ten right now, Michigan is the only undefeated team in the Big Ten right now. Like, I'm talking conference play. They probably are the only undefeated team with regular record anyways. But
yeah, you can't be, because every other team, if they're the only conference team undefeated. Are you saying in conference play?
Conference play, they're the only undefeated team.
Yeah.
I don't get what you're trying to say.
Weren't you just trying to say that they're the only undefeated team in the conference?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
To be. Yeah.
How would they have to be?
Because if every other team isn't undefeated in the conference.
Well, no, that's not what I was saying it the other way around. I was saying that they're the only whatever. I have Michigan's number 1, Rutgers number 2, Northwestern's number 3, Illinois number 4, and Minnesota's number 5. Iowa wasn't even in there. Iowa's number 6. Michigan State though, they need to pick it up.
What's going on over there?
A lot of things are going on. We give up. Our defense was supposed to be good. It was good to start the year, and it's just not that good anymore. We give up a lot of points to backcourts. I mean, we've given up like it's crazy how much points guards score against Michigan State, and our interior defense is really bad. We get killed on the glass, and we get killed in the paint. I mean, our points in the paint is way less than other teams. And then we just go on stretches where we just cannot score the basketball. Like guys like Aaron Henry, Rocket Watts needs to step up. Hauser has been playing pretty well, but other than him, like mainly Aaron Henry, he needs to become the leader of this team. He got benched the other night. He didn't even start the game against Minnesota because Izzo thought he needed to come off the bench. And yeah,
I have a question that this has raised for me. Oh my gosh! Now that we've seen Michigan State they're sliding. They're struggling hard. This Minnesota game, I hope, is rock bottom for Michigan State. I think they can. I mean, they could have a worse game, but I'm really hoping they come up from here. This raises the question: is Duke not as good as we thought they were going to be?
I mean, I don't think Duke's
it was an
good.
early season.
Yeah,
game.
It's an early season game, and State is not. They were playing really good. That's the thing. Like, it's not like State was just an average team when they beat Duke, and Duke sucks. Like when State played Duke. State was playing really good basketball. Like they were playing really well when they played Notre Dame as well. I really wish that Virginia game would have happened because I think we would have beat Virginia as well. State was playing really good, and they just are randomly starting to just not play good. And I don't think Duke is bad by any means at all. I think they're very good because I do think Illinois is still a really good team.
Me too.
And Illinois beat Duke by not a crap ton, but yeah, the Big Ten right now is. It's just not looking good for State, especially just in a loaded Big Ten. Big Ten tied the record for most teams ranked in the top 25 ever last week. They had 9 teams ranked in the top 25.
That's crazy.
That's not going to be like that throughout now that conference play has started. But
it's impossible. Once conference play starts, the top 25 is a lot different.
Yeah,
because it's basically just like the top 3 or 4 dogs from each conference because they just beat up on each other.
But the next couple games for Michigan State, they take on Nebraska on Saturday, which really needs to be a bounce-back game. State always really picks it up at the end of the year. That's kind of their thing. They always go on runs right before the tournament. That's just usually what they do. But right now, they need to pick it up. Hopefully, this is the start of it. They take on number 14 Rutgers at home on Tuesday, and then they take on Purdue at home next Friday. Michigan's next 3 games. They take on Maryland tomorrow. Then they take on number 14 Northwestern at home on Sunday. And then next Wednesday, they play number 21 Minnesota at home. Minnesota will probably go up in the rankings even more next week unless they lose again.
There will be some, and those are big games. Those are 2 back-to-back big games.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll have very many. There's not an easy game in the Big Ten this year.
No, there really isn't. Like even Nebraska, Nebraska only lost to Michigan by 11 the other night. I'm pretty sure it was. It was 11.
Close game.
The only really bad team. I mean, Michigan State's the worst team in the Big Ten right now,
Which
technically, like
says a
record-wise, which says a lot. Like that shows how good the Big Ten is. Even like Northwestern, number 3. Like who would have ever thought Northwestern would be doing that? It's just Rutgers is number 2. Like the Big Ten is so good this year, and I love it honestly. But it just sucks that State is seeing the bad side of it right now. Any talk about Michigan at all?
Hunter Dickinson is a monster.
I feel like that's always what the go-to thing is.
Well, how can it not be?
Yeah.
He is so good at basketball. He is. Isaiah Livers really needs to step it up. He's in that same spot as Aaron Henry, where he just needs to step up and play better. Because there's no reason Hunter Dickinson should be the best player on the court when you have a guy like Isaiah Livers on the court.
Yeah.
Franz hasn't looked great. He's looked I don't know. The Michigan hasn't looked great. They're just winning.
Yeah, and they haven't haven't had a loaded schedule. I mean, that's why the AP poll hasn't really favored them ranking wise. They're only one spot above State when State had 2 straight losses. So, but they are, like I said, after this Maryland. I mean, Maryland is one of the not very good Big Ten teams this year, which is weird because usually they're one of the better. But they play Northwestern, Minnesota, and I'm pretty sure the game after that is Wisconsin. So
this is a test.
This is the start of Michigan's tough schedule.
Yep.
I'm
excited.
Ready to hop into some NBA talk?
Yep.
Can you name right now the 2 undefeated teams in the NBA?
Atlanta Hawks.
Atlanta Hawks are 3-0. Yes.
And the Phoenix Suns.
Phoenix Suns are not. They are 3-1.
3-1. It's not the Magic.
It is the Magic.
I thought Magic lost the other
No,
night.
they're 4-0.
Oh.
Yeah, they're 4-0.
Go
man.
Orlando.
Magic been balling. Markelle Fultz been playing really good. A couple role players for them, like James Ennis has been playing pretty good. Aaron Gordon's been playing really nice. And then can you name me the 4 defeated teams, the 4 winless teams in basketball?
You're going to have the Pistons.
Pistons are 0-4.
The Warriors got their first win. No, second one.
Yeah, second win.
The Bulls.
Bulls are not. They have won a game.
Oh,
I couldn't tell you who it was against, though, but No, I'm pretty sure it was against the. I can't say.
Washington.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm pretty sure it was against the Wizards. Yeah, Washington is 0-4. Probably the worst team. Like probably worse than the Pistons right now.
Hornets got a win. Have the Pelicans got a win?
Pelicans have gotten a win. Yeah, I didn't write down their record.
I'm not sure.
It's 2 teams that you would not expect to be winless. Like 2 playoff teams
like
last
the
year.
Nuggets.
Not the Nuggets. The Nuggets are 1-3 though.
Oh, wait, did the Rockets win?
Rockets are 0-2. Yeah, they're a winless team.
Yeah, and they've only played 2 games.
Yeah, this other team is 0-3.
0-3.
Eastern Conference team, playoff team last year.
Oh, Raptors.
Yeah. The Raptors they're the team. The most concerning team to me actually is the Wizards. The Wizards are really bad. Their defense is like god awful. They just have been blowing so many leads. They were up by like 20 something the other night. I forget who they even played, but they blew their lead, lost. Yeah, I mean, any interesting teams you want to talk about here?
The Wizards. I don't get how the Wizards are bad. I don't get what's going on there. I don't get why they're bad. Defensively,
I mean, I understand why they're bad defensively. They don't have any good defenders on their team.
Thomas Bryant,
like really at
awful.
all. Davis Bertans,
awful.
Like offensive player. Denny Avdia, offensive. Bradley Beal and Westbrook, obviously are. I mean, they can play decent defense, but who on that team? Gary Payton II? Is he still on that team?
He don't get defender just because of his dad?
Yeah, I mean, he don't get minutes, does he? Like Troy Brown is not a
Rui Hachimura's on that team.
He's an athletic guy, but I don't really.
He's not
an excellent defender by any means.
No.
Mo Wagner.
That team's very interesting. Let's talk about the Pistons and how awesome they've been doing.
I mean, I'm going to be the first one to say I'm really enjoying watching the Pistons play. They've lost 4 straight now, which is ideal. They're doing exactly that. But the games are interesting. They're not just starting the game and getting down by 30 right away.
Yeah.
Like they are competitive games till right about the end. Even, their last couple games, they played the Hawks. They were down by a lot, came back, almost won. And then their game against the Warriors, they got down, and then they came back, and they didn't almost win, but they made it interesting at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. The Pistons are doing everything we've asked. except for play Saku, which honestly, I watched Saku get in against the Warriors, and that was the first minutes I've seen him play. He looked awful.
He had like his best game last night. He had 9 points, 2 rebounds, and only 10 minutes played.
He doesn't look like he's ready. There was one point in the game where he had a wide open fast break dunk. He caught the ball and dribbled it when he could have just 1-2 dunked it. And it was that play, and I kind of looked at it and I said, he's not ready. If he's not 1-2 dunking that, like, why did he dribble?
I don't know. I mean, you can't really base it on one play.
No, but like that was the play where I was like, it doesn't look. He didn't even look comfortable.
It just sucks though. Some things I don't understand is just why. Like I love that Isaiah Stewart and Sadiq Bey are finally starting to play, which I love because
Sadiq Bey looks
they're
good.
first round picks, but they're playing way more than Sekou. Like it just seems like they've already given up on Sekou, which is just like. I don't like that. They're not even like that's the thing. I hate saying he's not ready when we really don't know if he's ready because he has not really had a stretch. He had a couple games last year where he played like 30 minutes. But they would be random like you're playing 30 minutes tonight, tomorrow night you're playing 5.
Yep.
Like he needs a stretch of games where he starts and plays 30 minutes for like a week or 2 straight. Then if he's playing really bad, then I will say yeah, he's not ready, but I just want him to get a chance.
Yeah, and the only way that's going to happen is if Blake rolls an ankle.
Yeah, which Blake did leave the game last night and didn't come back to play. And the Pistons are going to be resting a lot of guys, which is going to help more minutes from our young guys.
It's perfect because you can just
D-Rose will get traded.
You can just throw guys around, just rest certain guys certain nights, and just new young guys get minutes.
Yeah.
The different young guys.
I'm a huge fan of Jeremy Grant. He's been playing very well. I mean, he's had 25-plus points in 3 straight games now. He's just really aggressive. Like when he plays out there, he's really playing like he wants to put up numbers. I mean, It's obvious. I mean, he's playing like he wants to win. Like he's playing really hard when he's out there. He's doing what we thought Christian Wood could do. It still really upsets me that the Pistons didn't bring back Christian Wood. Because he's been balling in Houston and everything. But I really like what I see from Jeremy Grant, and he's going to be such a great trade piece a year from now
or 2.
Yeah,
he's
or
on
2.
3 year.
Yeah,
right?
He's on a 3 year. But I could definitely see. Like next year trade deadline, at least the Pistons getting offers for him.
Yeah, absolutely, and I love it. He's playing great. Plumlee looks very good.
That's the thing. Plumlee's been playing nice. He really has been playmaking well. I mean he hasn't scored many points last night, but he got 10 boards, a couple assists, get a block or 2. Like he runs. When he gets the ball off a rebound, he can take it up the court. Like it don't matter.
He does a lot of things very well, and. I hate saying this because at the start of the year, I only talked bad about Plumlee. It was just because he got signed to the Pistons.
And just because, yeah.
I didn't want him on the Pistons. And it was nothing against him playing. It's just, I thought he was like a guy who would take away minutes from a guy like Isaiah
Stewart, yeah.
And I didn't want that. But now we see he's not taking away minutes.
Yeah, I
from
mean,
Isaiah
Jahlil
Stewart.
Okafor has been hurt because he was getting minutes over Isaiah Stewart, and Isaiah Stewart has played about 15 minutes the last couple of games, which is huge for the Pistons.
Keep playing him 15 minutes.
But easily my favorite player to watch on the Pistons right now is Josh Jackson, man. Josh Jackson has been playing very good basketball. Like, he has been fun to watch. He had 27 against the Hawks the other night. Last night, he might have had 20 points. He was close. He was at least close to 20, but he didn't make a 3 last night. But the one against the Hawks, he was hitting sidestep, like threes, pull-up threes. He's super athletic driving to the hoop. He gets a lot of and ones. And he actually, that the thing he was kind of known for was his defense, and he's been playing pretty good defense as well. I love seeing Josh Jackson get a chance and playing pretty well.
Watching him revive his career has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Because now there's hope and there's light at the end of the tunnel for Josh Jackson to go and play for a contender. Or
even
stay
just
right
stay
here.
for playing for the Pistons.
Stay right here.
Play for the Pistons for a couple years,
I mean, where is he from?
He's from Detroit.
Yeah, he's from Detroit.
This is his home. Detroit's his hometown, yeah.
Beautiful. Yes.
I loved watching Josh Jackson, man. Like I never thought I'd say that, but shout out to Troy Weaver because he said he one of his goals was to get Josh Jackson in free agency because he thought that he was a guy who a lot of people had already given up on, and he saw a future for Josh Jackson. And so far, he's looking like he's right because
there's a future. There's
there
a
definitely
spot
is.
for him on the team.
Killian Hayes left the game last night getting hurt. He has looked really not that good yet so far, but it's going to take some time. He's getting 20 minutes a night, which I'm cool with for now. I mean, he's starting, getting 20, 25 minutes. D-Rose played really good last night after Killian Hayes went out.
He played good up until the last fourth quarter.
Svi Mikhailuk also has just been shooting the ball pretty well, and I like Svi Mikhailuk a lot. I like how Svi has kind of started to change his game to, just from a shooter to a scorer. He's really becoming a guy who can. He's kind of turning into Luke Kennard, honestly.
Watching him come off screens is it's fun.
He reminds me, really, honestly, he reminds me a lot of JJ Redick because he comes off screens, takes really off balance shots, but he also he can pass. Like he's a good passer. He can drive to the hoop. Yes, most of his shots will be threes, but he definitely is not afraid to create his own shot at all.
No, I'm liking Svi a lot, and we've liked Svi for a while.
Yeah,
now.
Svi is one of my players that I was happy to return to the Pistons.
Yeah, I like
year.
him a lot. I think he's honestly, Luke Kennard is good, and Luke Kennard is better, but I think Svi has a brighter future.
And think about it, we got Sadiq Bey for Luke Kennard.
Sadiq Bey looked great against the Warriors.
He looked really good. Yeah, I mean, I'm like, and we're only 4 games into the year, so I know I complain about the young guys not playing, but we're so early into the year.
Yeah, and they only had 3 weeks to get ready. Like the rookies aren't going to play that much yet, but at the same time, we're watching Killian Hayes, a guy who said looks shaky.
And that's going to happen, it's just going to happen.
And I'm happy that it's happening. But why can't we let Sekou get in there and look shaky?
Because we just, the thing is, though, we don't really have that many guys at the guard spot, whereas we have a lot of wing players, a lot. And we don't know where Sekou, if he's at 3 or 4. But the one thing about Sekou, he is super athletic, and I want to see him posterize some more people because he can.
He can.
A couple other teams I want to talk about. The Phoenix Suns was the one I wanted to talk about. They're looking really good.
They look nice. DeAndre Ayton's holding down the paint very well. He's not going to be all NBA third team. That was a stretch.
Yeah, he's playing. And the thing is, Ayton he's not playing as aggressive as I would like him to.
He's not scoring
I
as
watched
much.
that game last night. Who was it? It was
Bucks.
Pelicans
Pelicans.
Suns. Yeah. Zion didn't do very good me for fantasy, unfortunately, but like Ayton should. I feel like he should. I know he's playing at Steven Adams, which is Steven Adams is a very good center. But Ayton just isn't as aggressive, especially as he was like last year. Towards the end of the year, he was playing really well. But it's the start of the year,
And I did expect a lot more lob opportunities for DeAndre Ayton. Teams are locking down the paint against Phoenix. We saw the Pelicans do it last night. Their rotations were never going to let him get a lob. And that's up to the guards to pass to the corner and make that corner a threat for that lob threat to open up again. But I'm really liking this Suns
Chris
team.
Paul, this addition to Chris Paul has really just opened up the floor for everyone. Cameron Payne, we talk about Cameron Payne like every time the Suns are on TV. He's so fun to watch. Like I can't really explain it why. His just like player build is just like awesome.
Every single time he's on TV, me and Sandal sit there and we contemplate.
Like if there was a my career build,
we want Cam
I would
Payne.
make it just like Cameron Payne. Tall lefty point guard.
Yep.
I don't know why. He's just fun to watch.
Me and you sit there and every single time we go, why do we like Cameron Payne?
I know.
Because we've never had a reason
he like
to.
sucked and he fell out of the league and
now
he was,
he's
he was
tough.
fun with Brody and everything and now he's like the backup point guard on a possible playoff team, which is awesome. Any other teams you want to talk about? Like the Sacramento Kings, they're 3-1.
Reese is the steal of the draft.
Yeah.
Tyrese Halliburton's he's the steal.
He played so good in their last game.
He's shooting 50% from 3. 4 games in,
Yeah.
I get it. But that was his issue. People were questioning
that was his
shot.
only. That was the only thing that he had. It was his jump shot. Yeah,
And-
because if you ever have watched Tyrese Halliburton, he has a funky looking jump shot.
It's a goofy looking
it's
one.
weird looking. Like it's not really. It don't look right.
No,
but
it ain't right.
if you're knocking it down, who cares?
Who cares?
Denver's 1-3. Not a good start for them. But Toronto 0-3. They really need to pick it up, man. They're I don't know what's going on with them. They're just. Like Siakam's not playing very well.
Van Vliet as a number 1 doesn't look very good. Not saying he is the number 1 all the time, but when Lowry's
they're trying to give Van Vliet more options at least.
Yeah.
They're just trying to give him more scoring options where if they just play how they did last year, they'll probably be fine.
Yeah, exactly. They've got a lot of work to do. I'm excited for this NBA season. It's starting off great. The Pistons are tanking well.
Oh yeah, they're doing a fantastic job. And like I said, I'm gonna try to catch every Pistons game this year because they're super fun to watch, and I like talking about them too. So, anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think that wraps up the episode.
Happy birthday to LeBron James
and Tiger Woods.
And is Tiger Woods' birthday too?
Yeah, how crazy is that?
That's pretty nuts. And Ronnie, happy birthday to Ronnie.
Yeah,
too.
shout out Ronnie.
All right, peace out.
Peace.